OMR is optical mark reader. nijaOMR is nijaSmart Systems Private Limited version of the optical mark reader. It is a desktop application and it enables you to create OMR or ORS sheets, scan them and evaluate them. We will first tell you how the entire process is going to work out. So what you do is you first plan the test. How many number of questions, what is the subject, the type of questions and the marks per question, and whether you are not you are going to use negative marks. So basically the software is meant for creating the OMR sheets, and this is the stage where the software will come in handy to you, because in this step, once you have finalized the number and type of questions, etc., you can create the OMR sheets, and then you can go on to printing or photocopying the OMR sheets, and then you can administer the test and collect the filled up OMR sheets and scan the OMR sheets. This is also a step where the nijaOMR is useful, and then of course finally evaluate the answered sheets and report the results. This step also is done by the nijaOMR software. Now this particular piece of software is useful in various scenarios like coaching institutes and schools and colleges and so on and so forth. We will now go on to take a look at the menus, the scanner menu, the template menu, the evaluate menu, the tools menu, and then finally the help menu. So in the scanner menu we have the select source. The select source means that you can select whichever scanner out of or 2 or 3 or whatever the number, and then acquire. Acquire means that you take all the answered sheets and then put them into the folder of your choice, template. Now the template menu consists of create new. So this is where the first step, once you have answered, comes in handy. For example, let's talk with a single subject. In the single subject, for example, you can give the name economics or whatever it is that you are planning the test for, and then you tell, okay, I want this many number of multiple choice questions, this many number of multiple response questions, this many number of paragraph based questions, this many number of matrix match questions, and so many number of integer type of questions. You assign them the marks, and then you assign if you are using the multiple choice with 5 options, you can do this also. You can check this, otherwise you don't have to check that. Then that is for a single subject. Now you can have in the same A4 size sheet, you can have 3 different subjects, and you can as before fill up all the required number of MCQs, MRQs, PCQs, MMQs and ICQs, that is the multiple response questions, paragraph based questions, matrix match questions, and the integer type of questions. Now the 5 subject serial also is the same thing, so the only thing is the style of printing will be a little different. So for example, the MCQs will come first, MRQs will come next, and so on for each single subject. That is there in the serial mode, and as before you can assign the number of questions and type of questions and the marks per question. Finally you have the evaluate options. So in the evaluate options you can specify what is whether negative marking is to be used, and if so, how much negative marking is to be applied. So that part you can specify. Then in the same template menu you have the print OMR sheet. So once you have created the new OMR template or sheet, you have the facility to print the OMR sheet from within the program. This create neat form is also a specialized version of create new, but this is rarely used. Then you are having the evaluate menu. So in the evaluate menu, you have to simply click the evaluate if you have filled up the options correctly, as we will see in the tools menu. So all you have to do is simply click the evaluate. Now the evaluate needs the OMN files, which we will talk about shortly. And as far as these are concerned, evaluate NEET, evaluate JEE mains, evaluate JEE advanced 1 and JEE advanced 2, and evaluate A5. They don't need any OMN file because they are based on standard template or OMN, and this is available from our website. Then we will now talk about the options. So this is the options menu, and in the options menu we have the default evaluation folder, and you can specify the default evaluation folder where you will put all the scanned sheets. And if you are using scanning within the program, then they will all be put, all the scanned JPGs will be put into the default evaluation folder. Then the default template .omn that you are specifying, you have to write the full name here, that is along with the path, and you have to fill it up here and add the .omn extension also. Default OMN folder, you specify where the OMN files are to be put. And as far as OMN files are concerned, these are automatically created once you are creating a new OMR sheet, that is in step 2. Default OMR sheet folder, all the templates that you are producing, they will be put into the default OMR sheet folder. Now here we have the color and letter options. Color means that the OMR sheet can come in two different colors, that is alternate questions, or alternate questions are in different color, and alternate questions oblique lines are in different color. Then the lettered means that inside the bubbles you can have the ABCD if you so want. And then the show answers is not really relevant. Log 20 transactions again for troubleshooting. Delete temporary files, you can check like this if you want. Standardize, again the standardize is used only if you are using some other scanner and not using the scan facility from within the program. Then we have the reporting format. It can be HTML or it can be CSV. HTML has the advantage that you can take the HTML and put it directly on your website, and CSV if you want to export it to Excel, and so on and so forth. Then this is export as CSV, export to web. Standardize, like I explained before, is the same thing as putting them into a standard format, provided you have not used the scan within the program. The right answer file is useful if you are using MCQs, and you can supply the answers in this particular format. Here for example you can say, okay, A is the right answer for question 1, C is for 2, and so on and so forth. Then you are having the roll numbers file. In the roll numbers file you can specify the student name and the particular roll number, which will be a 7-digit number, and you can add as many students as you want by clicking the more button, or if you are done you can click the done button. Then you are having the standardized A5, that is the same thing for size A5, that is the smaller sheet size. The settings is useful if you are changing the scanner, and the offsets and other things may differ, and you can use this particular setting dialog box. Then show corner limits. This is useful for showing the registration points. There are 4 registration points and you can see all of them by moving this. Okay, so here the thing is that the registration points have to fall within the search area given by the red rectangle. So otherwise the program will not work properly. Finally, we come to the help, and you have a CHM file. If you click the content, the CHM file will show up, and it has the overall overview and installation and all that, and you can consult it whenever you think it is required. Then finally, register. So register will be required once you have done the evaluation of our software and you would like to purchase it. So you have to take a product code from our you have to pay the requisite money, and you can get the product key from us once the payment is confirmed. Then you enter it into this enter key dialog box, and the program will stop bothering you with trial period notices and so on and so forth. Thank you.